Welcome to No Cover Music Magazine. I'm your host, Tim O'Brien, here at American Guitar Boutique in Phoenix City, Alabama, where we're happy to showcase and spotlight local musicians and artists. Welcome to a very special episode of No Cover Music Magazine here at the Phoenix City Amphitheater in Phoenix City, Alabama. You're going to catch my band tonight, the Pocket Hounds, opening up for the fireworks celebration. Stick around and have a good, safe 4th of July. So I got a very good friend of mine in the house. Y'all give a nice warm welcome. I talked him into coming up on stage and singing one with you. Mr. Reverend James Solomon. Come on, y'all can do better than that. That is the mighty Reverend James.
I want to say good evening, everyone. I thank you, Tim, for inviting me. It's been a long time since I've been home, and this is home. That's right. We're going to sing just one of these songs, a little West Coast blues called Tina Nina Noo. Y'all come on, you let yourself go and enjoy it with us today. I want you to be my Tina Nina Noo. I want you, babe, be my Tina Nina Noo. When you get through, just be my Tina Nina Noo. When you love me, babe, when you squeeze me, baby, come on, don't tease me. When you get through, just be my Tina Nina Noo. Come on, babe, work your show, fill it out with a little girl. You got the flow. Everybody is watching you. You're looking good, honey. Ain't that the truth? When you get through, just be my Tina Nina Noo. Nina Noo. Come on, baby, work your show. feeling out the groove, you got the flow. Everybody watching you, you looking good, honey. Ain't that the truth? When you get through, just be my Tina, Nina New. Goodbye, you have enjoyed the
Oh, yeah. Man, isn't James cool?
Solid as a rock. Solid as a rock.
James is cool.
I met him about 20 years ago. He was moseying around me singing like old James Cotton tunes and stuff. And I said, man, you ought to come out and sing with the band. And he said, oh, I can't. I said, why not? He said, you know, I'm a pastor of a church. And I said, well, what's that got to do with anything? And it has started. He came out and we had a great time actually playing one of the old backyard boogies, if you remember. One of those is the first time he sat in with me, and it just was off the chain. And we've been good friends ever since. But I sure enjoy when he shows up, which was impromptu that he ended up showing up, and I was like, come on, man, get up and sing one with us. So that was a cool tune. It was a Slim Harpo song that he jumped in on and did. So anyways, I enjoy it when James comes out and sings. But wanted to introduce you guys to a couple members of the Pocket Hounds, Mr. Kevin Van Noy, who's a longtime musician in the area, and Mike Childers, another longtime musician in the area. I'm fortunate to get to play with some great guys. So anyways, where do we go from here? We get to play the amphitheater, and then next thing we'll know, we'll play in front of 4 people at some smoky bar.
Well, you know, I remember the last time that the gentleman sang with us. He did a great job on the Stax.
Yes.
And I had fun that day with Lady V, and Neil Lucas also had a great part in sounding good on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed him.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So the other members of the band that aren't here in Pocket Hounds is Mike Davidson on drums and Rodney Nunez on keys. So we thought we'd just kind of introduce you to the band. What we're doing with the live show is kind of a different take from what we've been doing with No Cover Music Magazine up until now. We've mostly concentrated on singer-songwriters, and it was the first time that we actually went out on location and caught a band live, which happened to be our band, but I think we're going to start doing that a little more often. If you like that, let us know, and we'll start doing more of it. We'd also like to get out, if you got a band that's kicking butt in town, maybe we can get out and film your band and make it a part of the show. So we've got a bunch of tunes coming up still from the 4th of July show. We got Kevin doing some singing, Mike doing some singing. That was a good night. I felt kind of bad for the bands playing before us because it was so hot and grueling, and it felt like when we got up there, everything, the kind of sun went down, and it felt like it cooled down a little bit.
Just as soon as we hit is when the sun was going back behind the trees.
Lights came on.
A little bit of a breeze going on. It started getting palatable then, but it was still pretty
Still
good.
hot.
Hot and muggy.
Yep.
If you haven't been to the Phoenix City Amphitheater, Parks and Recreation does a great job, and they have an absolutely beautiful amphitheater. Absolute Audio was doing the sound. They always do a pro job, and there's something to me about playing on that amphitheater with great lights and the river at your back, and to me that's just a beautiful gig.
Oh, I've fished that river since I was 4 years old.
And do you ever catch anything out of it? They've cleaned that river up.
I put it all back, but I catch them.
They cleaned that river up quite a bit. Back in the day, they said you wouldn't want to eat any fish coming out of that river because of all the slime that was coming down from Atlanta.
Yeah, they've done a lot better with that.
So the idea of the Pocket Hounds, I think, is what we're looking to do, is just trying to settle into some deep grooves. Not really picking music because it's a certain genre, just picking music because we like it. And we kind of feel like if we take the tune and we do it, it's going to sound like us. I don't think we ever try and be a cover band or anything. We're just really trying to get good tunes and play them for you. Hope you guys have been enjoying the live footage that they've been putting out there. What do you got happening, man? What else is going on? You're playing down at the Loft. You're doing jazz on Fridays.
Doing a 4-piece quartet August the 17th on a Friday night from 7 to 9, and it's free.
At the Loft.
At the Loft. And that's called Kevin Vanoy and the Basin Street Boys.
I think they'll get this
All right.
show out before then, so maybe if somebody
fantastic.
sees it, they'll come out and hear you.
Good food. Please come on out.
Mike
I
is-
want to know where you get your shirts.
Oh, all different kind of places. Some I got when I was up in Pennsylvania. Some I get at the Moving Man downtown. That's a great place.
That's right.
Great place to get
Cool.
shirts. They
There's a
got
plug.
cool
There's a
stuff.
plug for you.
I got a great story for you about the Moving Man. When James first started singing with us, we were a bunch of long-haired guys, and James said, "Man, we got to get this image together on the band, and will you give me permission to go downtown and shop?" And we said, "Yeah, man, whatever you want to do." And he shows up before the gig one night, and he has all of us. I'm talking Stacy Adams shoes and silk socks and cuffed pants and flashy glitter shirts, and I mean it was like 9 yards. Every one of us dressed in a different theme, and James was so proud about bringing those suits, our gig clothes out for us.
Did you wear it?
Yeah, we wore it. It was cool.
That's awesome.
It was real cool.
Need pictures. We need pictures.
I think we destroyed all the pictures if we were smart, but it was fun. Somewhere I still got my Stacy Adams shoes, I think.
Oh, thrill is gone, baby. Gone away from me. Well, thrill is gone, baby. Gone away from me. Oh, I still live on, unhappy I will be. Whoa, thrill is gone, gone away for good. Well, thrill is gone, baby, gone away for good. Baby, you know you're telling me wrong, thrill is gone. Rodney.
free, baby, free from your spell. Well, I'm free, 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 baby, free from your spell. All I can do is to wish you well. Take us home, Tim. Come on.
Thank y'all so much. So, it's mighty kind of Neil to sit in with us. He was going to get up and do a tune, and ended up, we just said, come on and just play with us. He's always a pleasure to play with. You've been
Always.
playing with him for a while.
Yeah, used to do some steady Wednesday nights and blues jam kind of a thing, and had some magic nights out there with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a fine player.
Yeah, and Mike Davidson plays with a ton of people around town, but is always a joy to play with, man. He is rock solid. Tell me about your influences since we got the camera going. Why don't you let everyone know a little bit about where you're coming from?
Well, I started off as a drummer for Central High School here in Phoenix City, and later on picked up my sister's saxophone, and drums took us a second after that. I fell in love with the sax. So I managed to learn how to do some blues solos and get into some horn bands and, you know, play a little harmonica and do some singing and stuff. But eventually got to where I could, you know, play some jazz with the help of a trumpet player, Jay Johnston from Macon, Georgia. We were good friends. And so he kind of helped me out a lot. But I had a chance to play with Percy Sledge and Clarence Carter and the Platters back in the 80s. I'm telling my age now.
You were like 6 back then.
6. But yeah, my influences were all about, you know, tone. And so Dexter Gordon, Grover Washington Jr.
I think me and you talked about this, and I always told you
Yeah.
that the guy's tone that drove me crazy was Stan Getz.
Yeah.
I don't know
him
what
too.
it is about his tone, but man,
Mhm.
it just, there was something about the way he played a note that to me just cut right to your heart, you know.
That's right, yeah. And if you find just the right mouthpiece, just the right reed, and just the right horn, my horn is as old as I am. It's not shiny, but
You're not either.
Not unless you put a shiny shirt on.
But it's once you find that good tone, you can't get a price on it, and so I strive for that. I play in the closet in the dark a lot.
And Mike is a longtime musician, rocker, road dog, I would say. You lived out there. You lived without a home for how many years?
Long time, most of the 80s. Lived out of a suitcase. Did a bunch of road work and all around the southeast, the southwest, playing whatever I was hired to play for the most part. Got a lot of good experience playing different styles back then. I hated it back then. I really wanted to be a kind of a concentrated on one style of music, but now I really realize that being forced to play all these different styles of music really helped me to, you know, find my place here, because I can play pretty much whatever I need to now, and I like to play a lot of different things now, but this kind of thing that we do here is in the Pocket Hounds is my favorite. Groove music, blues and R&B. I like it. I like it a lot. I like to lay back and lay down a good fat groove and let you stars be out
Oh, yeah.
front. And
I've always said that that I enjoy playing the music I like to play, but I also don't like being limited to have to try and be in a cover band. I don't like, most of the artists that we listen to didn't try to repeat themselves night after night, note for note, and I enjoy that approach to it. I enjoy the idea that some nights people are grooving and it might become an 8-minute song, where other nights it doesn't work and it's a 3.5-minute song, but it's okay because, as long as we're in the groove, I think the music strives for that. And then if it doesn't work, you know when to kind of get out of it and go into the next thing. So
The Pocket Hounds, James Brown talked, he wouldn't let his drummers play any fills. He said, the groove is where it's at. Just stay right there, right there. He's right about that.
I believe that. As a guitar player, I notice that I enjoy drummers that are obviously good and tasty drummers, but I would rather a guy sit in the pocket than show me all his chops
Oh, sure.
all the time. There's a place for it, but I do like a solid drummer. And you're a drummer, so
we can talk about drummers when they're not here, can't we? Yeah. Mike!
Where are you, Mike?
But I like pulling out those obscure songs like Groove Me by King Floyd and putting our twist on them, something that's not usually done. Cool songs that are kind of Motown-ish or kind of groovy-ish, and putting our own twist on that. I'm looking forward to doing
The nice thing about that, too, is people go, wow, I remember that tune. You pull it out and they haven't heard it in a while, and it just kind of sets good with them.
It does.
Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the show at Phoenix City Amphitheater. Like I said, we hope to be doing more live stuff. Give it up for Kevin and Mike for sitting in with us and talking about all this stuff. And we will see you on the next time around in No Cover Music Magazine.
Hey, baby, don't you know you're looking good, and I love you so. Hey, 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 yeah. Honey, you are out of sight, and I dig you. The way you love me is a shame. It's like a hurricane. Yeah. Hey, baby, it's a thrill. I need you. Come on and say you will. Hey, 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 yeah. Honey, I like to see you dressed up in those high heels and stockings. And the way you love me is a shame. It's like a hurricane. Yeah. Baby, it's a thrill. I need you. Come on and say you will. Hey, 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 yeah. Honey, you know you're out of sight. Really. The way you love me is a shame. It's like a hurricane. Yeah. A hurricane. No, now, baby. A hurricane. Come on, honey. A hurricane, now, baby, a hurricane.